Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And I must be due for a haircut one of these days because it's getting kind of woolly there. We'll see. So, how are you all doing on this fine Saturday? Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. Running a few minutes late because I kept hitting the snooze because today there's nothing much on the ground at the moment, but we're supposed to get pounded. Which does not sound good to me. Good morning to the other two of you who've popped on. Nancy, there we go. We'll see who else is here. Good morning, good morning. But yeah, I love watching the snow. I love how it attenuates the sound out there. I choose not to deal with it beyond that. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat today. Today we have an Allowing Prayers card. Love those. 57 Invitations to Spark a Conversation with Your Soul by Siobhan Nash. And Nancy, your name just keeps rolling. There must be something really good in here for you. And it looks like we have two other people who've joined. Welcome. Glad you're here. Maureen is here. Good morning. Good morning. Glad you're here. And Gwen is here. Awesome. Joniel, good morning. Everybody rolling in. This is good. We've got most of the practical rebels in the house. Just got to wait for Mel's name to roll. And Barb. Usually Barb's here. There's Mel. Good morning. Good morning. Glad you're here. So, if where you are is going to get pounded with snow as well, hang tight. Just be where you are. Yeah, you're expecting 5 to 11. We're supposed to get 6 to 12. But I hope they're wrong, as often happens. Good morning. There's Barb. There's Barb. So I think we've got most of the practical rebels in the house now. This card, spot on. Perfect. Absolutely. Yeah. I will definitely be journaling about this. So hopefully it will speak to you as well. And it feels like it would be good to review our 21 days of divine right timing and divine right order. How to invoke that. The statements we've made that help us land right there. But first let's do a little breathing and a little tapping. So pick a spot. Breath. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Grounding right here, right now. Sending roots deep into Mother Earth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Drawing down healing energy through the crown of your head. You're getting rain. Let's hope it's all just rain. You guys aren't all that prepared for snow. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Yes, absolutely. Safe travels for everybody who's traveling. We don't have anybody traveling until tomorrow, I believe. So hopefully much of it will have been cleaned up by then. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Or we'll reschedule. Not worth killing yourself over. We'll see. So, call and response. My friends, call and response. Today the divine will show me the way. I think it has with this card. I'm open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked and I am guided to them. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. How easily are these flowing at this point? I like when I'm out and about doing things and one of them pops into my mind, I like to challenge myself to see if I can remember all four. The fourth one I tend to butcher, but the gist of it is there. The words tend not to flow that way, but the gist of it is there. So, good enough. Good enough. So there are 7 of us here, well, 8 with me. And let's take this prayer, allowing love, And it's 2 questions. And again, if some of you who like to be my scribe would be willing to post these 2 questions in the feed, I would be very happy about that. Let's take some time with them and really, the word that's coming to me is savor. Savor these questions and savor the intent of these questions. What are they designed to do for us? Yes, it's a little bit of calling us in to take a look at how we are limiting ourselves and others, but also giving us the opportunity to make decisions about what we can do to undo that. So, the card is Allow Love. And the first question is, how are limiting beliefs keeping me stuck in a difficult situation? How are limiting beliefs keeping me stuck in a difficult situation? And notice I changed the word there from you to me, because this is relevant for all of us in some way, in some aspect of our life, in some iteration. We have limiting beliefs that are getting in our way, keeping us stuck, perceived stuck, not necessarily real stuck, but perceived stuck. So what comes to mind for you? For me, there's 2 of them. The situation with my sister and the monetary situation, both of which I masticate in my brain in ways that keep me stuck. So where do I want to, the second question is, what loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? Thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. What loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? And I will add in there, as you're improving, thank you, Abigail, as you're improving the situation for yourself, you are indeed improving the situation for others, one way or another. And it may not seem like that to them or to you, but truly you are. Truly you are. Sometimes the hardest things we slog our way through are the things that really bring in the light. When we get to the far side of hell, there's light. So, what loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Abigail. And I think it's lovely that there's repeated renditions of this in our feed, because it packs that much more wallop. There's that much more impact and import when multiple times and multiple people have written down the same questions. So anybody coming along, looking through the feed might go, wow, they both put that down. Let's go listen to this thing, and maybe there's something in there for me. How many of us have had that experience of, I'm going to read this, I'm going to listen to this, I'm going to do this activity. Maybe there's something in there for me. With that, especially if we're feeling in a kind of a hopeless space, that little glimmer of light that keeps us going, When we do the pilgrim cards, that's often the theme in the pilgrim cards, is just one more step. Just take one more step. Just keep going. Do what you can to keep the faith. And again, I've said in the past, I hate that word just. Just keep going. It's not that easy. So, yes. Know that I get that. So, let's take a breath. Let it go. And the first thing that comes to mind, just noodle with it. Just noodle with it. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is that second question, which is staring at me on the screen. What loving thing could you do for yourself to improve the situation for yourself? So today I get to bake for tomorrow, and I like to bake. Baking is a meditation for me. So rather than allow pressure to diminish the enjoyment in the baking. I'm just going to stay present in the moment. Present there, making what I'm doing: homemade carrot cake and chocolate pecan pie. So, and the apple pie that I made, was that 2 days ago, I think. Pretty much gone. So, apparently my crust making abilities have remained intact, even though it's probably been 9 months since I made a pie. It happens. The other thing that I'm noticing is the Believe pillow. And as I look around my desk, again, there is Believe everywhere. Which is very helpful at this point, because yesterday was a day where I received a proposal for the Zion project that wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Actually, it was what I was expecting. It wasn't what I was hoping for. So, kind of another, I don't want to say a false trail. There's opportunity in that difficulty. There's things to be learned. There's a gathering of souls and minds that will come out of this. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And I think it's very important that I stay in that place of, we'll see what happens, and not take the things that aren't likely to move us forward to heart. Is what it is. On we go. Next, we'll see. So, what about for you? How's this resonating for you? What were the first things that popped into your mind? What would you like to do about them? A baby step. A baby step. And if you feel, again, there was that word stuck in there, stuck in a difficult situation, if you feel like there's not a bloody thing that can be done to improve this situation, then I want you to go within. Because the one thing that can be done is a change of perspective. A change of perspective. And for those of you, that's a good opportunity, a reminder. Those of you who are in our book club is not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. And I just sent out the questions for chapters 3 and 4 of Being Mortal, which is about death and dying in America. And part of the chapter we just are going to be discussing is about that shift in perspective and how important it is. And I'll just give you a little window into it, because some of you who aren't participating in book club might like to get the book and read it. Or join our book club. You could do that. Rattle my cage and I'll send you the link. The gist is that when we are dealing with our loved ones as they decline, and we're considering assisted living, memory care, all the things, right? How that all came to be is a very interesting process. And the claim that he's making is that most of what's out there offered is designed to assuage the guilt of the kids of the person who's going to be going into that facility. It speaks to us in terms of safety needs and care and all the things. It does not do much of anything speaking to the person's needs for autonomy and stimulation, mind stimulation, and community, and the ability to make decisions for oneself, even to the point where it might be more dangerous. So, yeah. So, interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. So again, I go back to our card. I'm going to say it again. Close your eyes. Not if you're driving. Take a breath. Let it go. Hear these 2 questions and let them resonate through your being. How are limiting beliefs keeping you stuck in a difficult situation? What loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? Another nice deep breath. breathe and allow, breathe and allow, breathe and allow. So that's it for today. I hope you have an awesome Saturday. We'll stay put with the snow. We'll see how much actually comes down. Sometimes they make it sound like it's going to be a big deal and not much happens. So kind of crossing my fingers for that. See you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.